Alright, here's a real simple, quick construction for an approximation of E that it's ridiculously simple. It's not all that accurate, but it's really simple, and for as close as it gets, it's quite lovely. Right? Okay, so what we're gonna do, right here, we're modeling a square sheet of paper. We're gonna put our x-axis here, and so we're scaling everything down by 1/2, right? So here, this distance is 1, this distance is 2, so E is going to be over here, somewhere over here, okay? So our target is that line. That's our target. That's what we're shooting for, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half here. So what is showing up as our x-axis in Desmos is actually a crease. So it was worthwhile to plot it this way. So that is actually a crease. And then we have a perpendicular crease. Right? So we've quartered the square. And now we're going to cut this in half. We're going to fold this edge to the center of the square, like this. Now you can see we've this is our x-axis, right? We've now marked off 2. Okay, we're more than 2/3 of the way to E already. Okay, now we're going to drop in a diagonal right here, diagonal that cuts through right there. So what's going to happen is this point is going to come to here, right? So our crease is coming through these two creases, and this point is coming to here, and this point is coming down to here. Okay, so you have guidelines for everything that's happening here. They're not edges, but we're matching these points. We're putting this line onto this line, and this line onto this line. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this line down to this line, so we get this crease. It goes off the paper. All right, so it should terminate a little bit below that corner, something like that, right? And now what this is going to do is it's going to give us along here, if this height is 1 and this length is 1 and this length from the edge to the center is 2, it's going to give us a square root of 2 down here, and we're going to mark that off with a vertical fold. Once this is folded down, it'll meet here, so we're going to mark that with a vertical fold. And then we're going to bring this fold here, so we're going to take half of the square root of 2, and when we do that, we've arrived at a pretty decent approximation of E. It's like 2.7, well, it'll be this, it'll be 2.707. Right, this plus 1 is what it would be. Right. This times 2. 2.707. This is actually really nice. 353553. That's weird. Okay. As you can see, our line for E, which here it's being represented as it's half of E in order to get everything to plot nicely. But our value for E, it's not super close. It's not nearly as nice as that construction I did for approximating pi on 4. But it's not horrible, and it took literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folds. That's it. 7 folds. And none of them are remotely complicated. So yeah, there's that. This was pretty simple, pretty straightforward, very, very elementary. And we're just capitalizing on the fact that half of root 2 is very close to the fractional part of E. All right, we're not off by that much. So it's like 1.1% or something like that it's off. It's not very much. So yeah, that's a real simple Not the best approximation of E, but very, very simple, very easy to do. And if you're just sort of demonstrating the basic concept of the scale of E relative to other stuff, or you want to just approximate something with a rough construction, if you're using like a regular sized origami paper, the error here is small enough. You'll see it, like this one, it's not like the approximation I gave for pi on 4 where it's invisible because it's smaller than the width of the crease. It's not that good, but it's real close. And if you didn't construct it all that accurately, yeah, it's not going to matter anyway. If your origami isn't super precise, the error that exists here isn't going to matter anyway. And if you are super precise, you know, if if this unit was, if this was like a square cut out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, right? So this is 8.5 inches per side. Your unit is 2 1/8 inches, and that error is like just over half a millimeter, if I'm recalling correctly. I don't always recall correctly. So there's that. But yeah, it's small. It's small. It's there. It's visible, but it's small. Considering how simple this is, that's fair.